Good evening. I'm R. Parkar. Let me begin with a single powerful sentence. Boots stomped on the steps of democracy, and gun barrels were pointed at the voices of the people. In the early hours of a December morning, South Korea experienced a seismic event that will be etched into the annals of modern history. At 10:27 p.m. on December 3rd, President Yoon Suk-yeol declared martial law. Just after midnight, heavily armed troops, including special forces, attempted to storm the National Assembly. Despite their efforts, the bastion of South Korean democracy was preserved through the courageous resistance of both citizens and lawmakers. Their defiance not only thwarted the attempted takeover, but also led to the repeal of martial law and the submission of an impeachment motion against President Yoon. Tensions skyrocketed as military units mobilized in central Seoul following the declaration of martial law. At 12:07 a.m. on December 4th, troops attempted to block lawmakers from entering the assembly and aimed to seize control of the plenary hall. However, through swift action, opposition lawmakers, supported by a handful of ruling party members and ordinary citizens, managed to prevent the occupation. South Korea's constitution grants the National Assembly the authority to terminate martial law with a majority vote. Acting under this provision, lawmakers convened an emergency session, and by 4:30 a.m., martial law was repealed. President Yoon's attempt to seize the assembly and consolidate power collapsed within 6 hours. President Yoon's declaration of martial law marks one of the gravest moments in South Korea's modern history. Officially, the justification was rooted in national security and threats from North Korea's nuclear arsenal. Yet, many experts view it as an extreme response to mounting political challenges and waning public support. Amid deepening polarization and growing resistance from opposition forces, it appears President Yoon opted for military control to suppress dissent and retain power. This controversial decision has raised alarms over the fragility of democratic institutions in the face of authoritarian ambitions. In addition to the National Assembly, footage obtained by investigative reporters revealed that martial law troops attempted to occupy the National Election Commission, NEC. This revelation underscores that President Yoon's actions extended beyond safeguarding his political position, aiming instead to suppress critical constitutional bodies. Under martial law, protests and political gatherings faced imminent bans, and the press risked falling under military censorship. These draconian measures ignited fierce public backlash, driving thousands of citizens to rally outside the National Assembly. Although the martial law attempt ultimately failed, demonstrations against President Yoon continue as calls for accountability grow louder. The National Assembly's decision to push forward with impeachment proceedings against the president highlights the gravity of this crisis and its potential to reshape South Korea's political landscape. As troops moved to breach the National Assembly, over 1,000 citizens gathered outside, refusing to stand idle. Their chants, "We cannot surrender," echoed through the night, embodying a steadfast commitment to democratic principles. Their collective resolve empowered lawmakers to pass the repeal of martial law and stave off a descent into authoritarian rule. Boots climbed the steps of the National Assembly, and a female politician's bold attempt to seize a rifle from the armed troops became a powerful symbol of resistance. This was not a scene from a movie, but a harsh reality faced by South Korean citizens. A single individual's authoritarian ambitions threatened to unravel democracy, yet the collaboration of citizens and lawmakers ensured its survival. What would you do if such an event unfolded in your country? Democracy is not a given. It is a privilege that requires vigilance and courage. Let today's history serve as tomorrow's lesson, as we reflect on the decisions that safeguard freedom. Thank you for joining me. I'm R. Parkar, and this has been your evening briefing.